Hello everyone. Welcome to TJ News. Patients piling up in Gaza's hospitals overwhelmed amid Israeli strikes and fuel shortages. In Al-Shifa hospital, Gaza's largest medical facility, a dazed and drowsy woman sits on the floor with a bleeding leg. A younger man lies flat on blood-stained tiles, his neck and legs wrapped in bandages. The rest of the emergency room on Tuesday was crowded with men, women and children of different ages, some crying, some trembling and some asleep on makeshift beds on the floor. The situation in hospitals is miserable, it makes you weep, a 50-year-old woman sheltering at Al-Shifa said on Thursday. There is no equipment, people are piled up on top of one another, said Maslay, who is also Gaza's country representative for the MedGlobal healthcare charity. Maslay lost her home in Israel's bombardment of Gaza and says that soon there won't be any fuel left to power this hospital, which is housing both patients and the countless displaced who have nowhere else to go. More than 1.4 million people in Gaza were internally displaced as of Wednesday, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs (OCHA). More than 500,000 are seeking refuge in facilities run by the UN's Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, which are accommodating numbers 3 times their intended capacity. Piles of both trash and people line the hospital's corridors, Maslay said, with many sleeping on the floors because residents feel hospitals are safe. Doctors at Al-Shifa are also seeing children with the majority of their body and faces burned, missing limbs and other catastrophic injuries, said Dr.Tanya Haj-Hassan, a pediatric intensive care and humanitarian doctor with the aid group, Doctors Without Borders, also known as Médecins Sans Frontières. The few other remaining hospitals in Gaza are also suffering, with some completely shutting down. Gaza's leading cancer hospital, the Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital, has stopped operating due to Israeli bombardment and fuel shortages, the Hamas-controlled Ministry of Health said in a statement Wednesday, adding that 16 out of 35 hospitals in Gaza are now shut. Israel has claimed that there is fuel in Gaza, but that it is under Hamas control. TJ News cannot independently verify the amount of fuel in the enclave. The Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital was struck by Israel on Monday, the hospital director, Skaik said, causing damage to oxygen and water supplies on its 3rd floor. A video circulating on social media showed smoke coming out from the facility's central building. Skaik said, "The most severe damage is the anxiety and panic that afflicts patients," adding that some fled the hospital after the airstrike. The Israeli military claimed in a statement Tuesday that the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, did not strike Gaza's Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital. It did not offer any further information. In Gaza's Indonesian hospital, the medical services backbone of the enclave's northern section, the main generator ran out of power Wednesday, leaving the 16,000 square meter, 172,000 square foot, facility running on a secondary generator in only some parts of the hospital. Key systems requiring power, such as ventilation in operating rooms and oxygen stations, have stopped working in the entire hospital, the facility's director, Dr.Atef Al Kahlout, said, adding that the hospital's morgue refrigerators have also stopped working. The Indonesian hospital is the nearest medical facility to the densely populated Jabalya refugee camp in northern Gaza, which the Israeli military hit with airstrikes on both Tuesday and Wednesday, leading to hundreds of casualties, dead and wounded, medics said. The Israeli military said the strikes on Jabalya targeted Hamas commanders and the group's infrastructures. Videos seen on Tuesday showed long lines of bodies outside the hospital. The Geneva-based agency said that pregnant women in Gaza are being forced to undergo emergency C-sections without anesthetics. An average of 160 pregnant women are already expected to give birth every day over the next month in the Gaza Strip, Care International said, adding that there are around 130 newborn infants in incubators that also cannot operate without electricity. Hospitals in the besieged and heavily battered enclave are hanging by a thread, the UN said Monday, adding that around 10 hospitals in Gaza are still operational, but those facilities are constantly receiving evacuation orders, the UN added. Dr. Bashar Morad, executive director of the Palestinian Red Crescent and director of the Al-Quds Hospital, says that his facility has received several evacuation orders from Israel amid the conflict, but evacuation is nearly impossible. A healthcare facility in the northern Gaza Strip, Al-Quds receives hundreds of patients wounded amid the shelling, as well as housing displaced Palestinians seeking shelter, Morad told CNN Monday. Up to 16,000 displaced people are sheltering at Al-Quds, he said, with many living in the building's corridors as the facility was not built to house such numbers. Fuel, medical supplies, food and water are diminishing, Morad said, adding that with the vast number of patients as well as those sheltering in the hospital, replenishments are direly needed. But aid has been slow as Israeli military actions separate the strips north from the south, he said. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society said on Sunday that Israeli airstrikes have caused extensive damage to hospital departments and exposed residents and patients to suffocation at the Al-Quds hospital. The medical organization accused Israel of deliberately launching airstrikes directly next to the facility in order to force an evacuation of the hospital, the second largest in Gaza City. In response to questions about the strikes, the IDF said in a statement that due to intensifying hostilities against Hamas in Gaza City and northern Gaza, the IDF continues to urge civilians to evacuate south. The airstrike filled all departments with dust and smoke, Morad said, causing panic and fear among women and children. Masleh, the woman sheltering at Al-Shifa, described the scenes of dead bodies being hauled out after the airstrikes as similar to slaughtered animals being moved. Bodies in morgues have begun to smell, she said, and many unidentified corpses are being buried in mass graves. Gaza has been left alone, Masleh said. It is being slaughtered from vein to vein. Thanks for watching. More trending news updates will be posted. Subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new update is being posted. Thanks.